Good morning! It's Vlogmas day 4, which means it's 13 days until we leave for Christmas, which I'm now excited about because we're meeting someone today to show them how to do our ducks. So they're taken care of while we're gone, which means I can fully soak up the countdown. We're going to take you along on our favorite morning routine when he's not working in London and when there's no kids at home, which is to go get coffee and study at the library. We've got our own mugs because that's how you get a free coffee at Waitrose. We're gonna go do that. Maybe pop our nose in a charity shop. My nose. He's got to get to work. And then we're gonna go hit the library and study. We're gonna pop in here and see what they have while Jared grabs his coffee. My assessment of the charity shop today was that things were so expensive. £5 for top trumps is about 5 times more than I have ever seen them be in a charity shop, and these, wait for this price, £95 for a small dinner set. Now, I know that charity shops have to make money and they're raising it for good causes, but I know a lot of people have this complaint that the prices are getting too high, and I think we need to have more conversations about why it's happening so that at least us as customers can really understand. We've got our coffee, no treats.
Yum.
It's library time. What are you gonna work on?
Ooh, I don't know.
Something. I'm gonna do school. That's all I'm here for. Studying away. Right, we're done with the library. I finished my online work for the week. Started my next assessment, which I'm excited to get done. Jared got some great news about a writing project.
Really good news. I'm excited.
We drank coffee. Good library session. We always chuckle at the librarians. We love our library so much, and I don't know if they are the stereotype of librarians, but ours are not quiet. We don't have a quiet library, which I appreciate because you don't feel conspicuous if you say something or anyway, so I like that, but it's still quiet enough to work. But the librarians are sometimes so chatty and they get excited by what I think are like the cutest things, and they're just all the same. So like a workman will come and it will be drama forever that he left a spanner in the loft and now he's got to come back and get it, and this person was supposed to come on this day and they didn't, and I just love it. So
someone has asked off for
someone's asked holiday,
and this is a big deal.
They needed it 2 days in advance.
My big thing is that this needs to be made into a show. There needs to be like a real librarians.
The real librarians of West Sussex.
Yeah, and I think it would be a hit.
I agree. I often think we should just do like an overheard in the library. It was the first one overheard in LA. I think that was the account, and then they spread. We could do a great overheard in the library anyway, but a show would be great. The Real Housewives, real librarians. Okay, anyway, stay tuned. We're gonna go home and make omelets, which is our go-to lunch, and then meet this person about the ducks, which I'm so thankful for. It is the most beautiful day. I've come out to grab some eggs and rocket for our omelette lunch, and I just have to show you. So a couple of days ago I talked about the molehills and people were like, leave the moles, don't hurt them. I'm not going to hurt them, but I do need a solution, because look, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the situation, but then they just go in lines, and here and here and here, and this doesn't work because then the ducks get in them, and even if you clean the soil off, you can't get it off completely, and it is a total mess. This does not have bees in. This is an extra one I got. Anyway, so this is why I need a solution for the moles. So much rocket. It is our favorite thing to grow because everyone loves it. I've kind of just let the greenhouse go because I get overwhelmed by the time summer has ended. But look, we've even got some gorgeous tomatoes. Tiny little chilies that didn't quite make it to the size they needed to be, but they grew, and I find it's one of the easiest things to grow, and it self-seeds like everywhere. It's down on the floor of our greenhouse. but everyone loves it. It's so quick to grow. You can save the seed really easily. So we're gonna grab some for our omelets. Got my rocket. We're going inside. We're gonna make omelets, meet the duck friend, get a bit more work done, pick up the kids. We've got duck eggs, a rocket, and I'm gonna smother it in sriracha. The post person just brought Jared his favorite magazine.
She mocks me.
I do. It is a local, just all like the local amazing trades people and services and things like that. And I don't really know why it just tells us what's going on in our local area, but he just picked it up and said, oh, genuinely my favorite magazine.
I get to find out what's happening in our area. So the Cubs and Scouts went to the art display that I did my lecture under. That's pretty cool.
Okay, that is kind of cool. Jared did a lecture underneath a giant art installation of Mars. It was really cool. And the Cubs and Scouts went, and we would never have known.
No, now
if we hadn't picked up a magazine.
Now we know.
Okay, I think that might have been the door. I think maybe our duck friend is here. Okay, we met the duck lady. She is so kind and is going to take care of our ducks while we're away. I've got my coffee. I'm going to dive into my next assessment, which feels really fun, and then go get the kids. But I thought while I drank coffee, I would tell you the story. I said on Instagram the other day that I was going to tell this very silly story, but oh, a birthday card. For my daughter, we have another birthday next week. But yeah, I said I would tell the story of how a Hallmark, a not Hallmark movie, a skit about Hallmark movies really influenced my decision and my thought process when I was thinking about studying again. It was a long process to figure out what I wanted to do with the next phase of my life when my kids went back to school, and I knew I wanted something different. Anyway, there were a number of different things. I talked about another one in another video about just this quote on Instagram, you know, those quotes that you think, do they actually do anything for anyone? And it did. And it said, if you were in a movie but you were watching the movie, if your life was a character in a movie, what would you be screaming at the screen? Like, what would you be telling the character to do? And somehow shifting the thought process of what I was doing next in life around like that, suddenly I could see it more objectively and know, oh, I'd be saying this. I'd be saying, go back to university, study more. But the other thing was, okay, so we all know the Hallmark story of city girl with a good job goes, leaves the job against her friend's advice, chats with them on the phone over a glass of wine about she's going to this small town that she is just ready for a little time away at. She goes, she meets someone, she doesn't like the person, something happens, she ends up staying, which she never could have imagined was going to happen. She falls in love with this boy that she didn't like, and then she's calling her friends in the city and telling them she's going to stay there forever. It's like the same story every time, and we still like them. I'm kind of 50-50 on the Hallmark movies. I don't love them all, but I do have a spot in my heart for the right ones. But then I feel like in the last few years on Instagram, there've been a number of people who have shared like the reverse Hallmark story. Like, what if we told this story backwards? What if we had the small town girl who quit small town living and realized she wanted something more and went to the big city, left the small town guy, which like, we'll bypass that because I like mine. But anyway, but left the small town life, went to the city, got a high powered job, pushed for something different in life. And as I watched a couple of these skits, firstly, I just think they're brilliant. They made me laugh. But secondly, I realized, oh, I identify with this so much. I realized I much more identify with that of leaving small town, working for myself, doing what I'm doing. I much more identify with the idea of leaving that, pursuing something big, throwing myself into a career that I haven't had for the last 10 years while I've been home. And this, honestly, it was probably last year or the year before last, watching this, it was just one of those things, you know, you watch something and it's kind of silly, but then you can't shake it. And that was what happened for me with this little reverse Hallmark skit, was I went, I resonate with that so much. And what am I going to do about that in my life? What am I going to do with that? Because I couldn't shake this feeling that something in that reverse Hallmark story was what I was the next step for me. It felt so right. And so from that and various other things and a lot of talking and a lot of everything, but that kind of led to me going, okay, I'm actually going to jump in. I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to dive in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back to university full time and keep working, keep doing this online thing, still be very present mom to my kids, but like, I'm going to push for it and I'm going to do this. And I'm not going to think that my brain is broken and mushy after having kids, which, wow, it felt that way. But yeah, so there you go. That was my little coffee moment with how the reverse Hallmark movie genuinely played a role in me going back to university. And honestly, having so much fun. I feel so fulfilled and happy, and like, this is exactly the right place, the right thing to be doing. My brain is just happy to be thinking academically again and working and having assignments and having to think in a different way. Motherhood is incredibly demanding, but somehow you can never have a spare minute, but also be bored in a different part of your brain. And that's where I found myself. I love being a mom. I love making the advent calendars. I love picking them up from school. I love every bit of it. But at the same time, as there was this other piece of me that I didn't want to let die, because I knew actually it would make me less of a good mom. And the Hallmark story, or the reverse version, played into it. So I'm going to do a little essay. We'll get it started and then run to school pickup. Something. We're ready for dinner. The boys are playing basketball to get out some energy. We've done bath time, which we don't do every night, honest truth. Our dinner is one of our favorite, like family favorite, but also really frugal, high protein lentil soup. Hi babes. And flatbreads from all the bulk flour that we have. There's no vegetable with it, so we're gonna do fruit afterwards. And we're gonna get the kids to bed, push through that, and I'm gonna sit down and edit this video, maybe do something else as well if I can get through this quickly, and then go to bed, because there's not been a good sleep week. We're having disagreements, because that is real life. Sounds like someone's parenting that. Fun. Real life in the Noise house.